Now, so the American season has dropped on the Nintendo Switch, and yeah, this is pretty cool. It's got some decent enough cars in there. No particularly amazing standout cars. Yeah, there's like 5 added from this, and it kind of says 6 on some of the patch notes. And that is because it's also talking about the Trion Nemesis being given as a elite Grand Prix car during this to players who might not have that already, but hence a car which is freely available. If you don't have the Trion Nemesis already, and you're also missing, say, the Beast X, the Cadillac CN Concept, the Force One VLF, and pretty much any of the cars that were in the soon Multiplayer 2 season, last multiplayer season, you're going to be in severe trouble with the special events from this. So I would say, like, for players who do not have basically the cars which are based from America to begin with in the game, yeah, you may be considering not like going for the special event cars definitely in this, because they will get incredibly costly, especially if you're missing things like I said, the Trion Nemesis and the other cars from that sequence of events that lead up to the Trion Nemesis. They're available in the daily events all the time, and they will be throughout this season as well, but definitely they're ones that you would need to have coming into this season to have a shot at kind of cheaply coming out of this with the 2 special event cars. We have an extra track added into the game now as well, New York City, with it says 10 new tracks to explore, so that's 10 new tracks in New York, and there's also some new layouts made for some of the older tracks which are in game, like US Midwest is after getting one, and I'm pretty sure Cairo as well has a new layout on the track. Before I even get into some of the bits and pieces with this though, the new knockdown rules that are added for this, you can see them in the patch notes if you're subscribed to the news for Asphalt Legends. That kinda sucks. Thanks to all the great feedback we got from our players, we've made adjustments to the knockdown system and make it more predictable. While you shockwave, you're immune to all form of knockdowns and can trigger knockdowns on players you touch who are not in shockwave. Additionally, while performing 360s, you're immune to knockdown caused by a 360, but not shockwave regardless of how you get hit. Now, this is one thing that if you've seen that on patch notes anywhere else, you would see brackets behind it that say this was reverted soon after this was implemented, because it's a terrible system and everyone hated it. So it's a real shame to see the fact that, like, yeah, the Switch is being copy and pasted so much that, like, we're copying and pasting in something which was reverted afterwards because it's known a year ago on global that it's bad. So, yay. Now, and first things first, I'm going to go and get myself a 1 season pass. And yeah, with this one, I'm going to actually pick up the bundle pass, which is kind of like, it has its ups and downs. But for me, the thing is, like, I kind of want that fuel for the cars and as early as possible, and also in kind of looking at maybe playing slightly less and seeing how, like, it helps with say certain rewards lining up with the actual special events in terms of blueprints and stuff like that. And realistically, it'd be cool to have the trade coin bonus that bit earlier, as well as having those bonus fuel units for longer of the season pass realistically. So I'm gonna give it a blast with the bundle pass for 15 because of having that 50% reduction coming from the Lamborghini season pass. So yeah, like I said, €5 extra, but it's going to mean that I'll effectively get about 2 weeks extra of the trade coin bonus and the extra fuel units going into this season. The free pad for this Legend Pass gives you the Ford GT, the old version of the car, which a lot of players will probably have because it's featured in a couple of car hunts already. Not exactly an amazing car, it's crazy high top speed, and it has been given a buff to the handling and nitro acceleration, all kind of not too long ago, and you'll get a 2-star Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Now, yeah, I'm a fan of anything really from the Chevys, and generally a fan of most of the American supercars. They're kind of pretty cool, so yeah, I'm quite happy with this Legend Pass. Again, their cars aren't kings, but the cars are really, yeah, I have a thing for the Chevy car look anyway. Taking a look then, the first 15 levels of this season pass, like, we'll get the Stingray's decal, some blueprints for the car, not enough to unlock it, I don't think, by a bit, but yeah, you're getting 15 blueprints for that, some blueprints for the Ford GT Mark II, But yeah, it'll bring all the way up to level 15, which is where I'm getting those 2 fuel units. So yeah, like I said, the bundle pass will be starting off effectively with that bonus from jump, which yeah is kind of one of the better things about the legend passes. And there we go. That's yeah, legend pass bundle purchased. Just make sure, by the way, as well, that if you are buying that bundle, that if you're entitled to the 50% reduction, that you're definitely paying the $15.99. And yeah, obviously that 50% reduction is only on the bundle pass. That does not include a reduction on the base season pass. That's only the bundle pass gets reduced by 50%. So if you were entitled to the 50% reduction, it would be a case of, yeah, the base pass will be €10 and the bundle pass will be at 15. Otherwise, it's €10 and 30. That involved a restart to actually get that to pop up. Yeah, that loading was just going on eternally. So I cleared my cache, gave the game a restart, and come back in here to click buy again. And just as soon as I click buy, it purchased. But that's kind of rough. But now, taking a look here then at these first missions, and yeah, I'll start to go through those. A few of the places where they're going to be easy, and just in case anyone again is missing the text from these, I'll go through each mission at the start of each one of these episodes and try and get that out on the first day. And yeah, we'll go through like the easiest tracks to grind out for some of these ones where yeah, there's like a grind kind of element involved. Starting off at the top here, 3 360s in a single race. Finish 3 races. I mean, these are all very, very basic stuff. Perform 5 shockwaves in a single race. That one is, yeah, might be a little bit of a stretch on some of the shorter tracks. Perform airtime 20 seconds. That's like cumulative, so that one's real easy to get. 7 perfect runs in a single race. You could get that on any minute long to 90-second course by just putting a car in touch drive. Touch drive will automatically get you perfect runs because yeah, it just will stay in the middle of the track. Might not do great in times, but yeah, it'll do perfect runs nearly all the time in touch drive. Drift 10,000 meters. Again, it's cumulative, so that one is pretty easy to get that. You can get 10,000 meters in some of the tracks nearly. We've got 20 races in US Midwest, 15 races in San Fran. I'll pop the link in the feed down below to the shortest tracks for those ones. Now, open card packs. That's open anything that's got a random selection of blueprints, import parts, or credits inside there. Now, 5 jumps in a single Stars and Stripes event race. Again, that one's going to be the same as the last one's Lamborghini Ultimate Experience, as in that's particularly a event called Stars and Stripes. 15 nitro bottles in multiplayer. Could be done in a single race with cheesing, or else just a couple of races of picking up some nitro bottles. And then, yeah, Uptown race in the New York City, 105 seconds. So that's one of the longer variants of New York. And yeah, just do a run in 105 seconds in pretty much any car that's available for that career race. Now that I get that pass, I'm going to get these rewards straight away. So I'm starting off with that fuel unit. So we'll be starting off, yeah, Stingray decal, some blueprints for that. But like I said, not enough to unlock it. Some obviously for the Ford GT that are going to get mulched. And yeah, some more Stingray, a couple of tokens. And bringing it all, emoji, bringing this all the way up to, yeah, that very handy. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in the first 15 levels. I'll go back through those for any of the actual yeah, particular pieces. Some of the Ford Mark II, nice Grand Prix car. New trims. There's quite a few bits and pieces there, but yeah, there we go. 2 extra fuel units to start off this season with, instead of waiting 2 weeks for that, which is pretty handy. And I'll get the third one 2 weeks earlier as well. New rims for the 911 GTS Coupe. That's pretty cool. The Blanc Zero ones. Yeah, I know those. They look really cool on quite a lot of cars. New rims for the Camaro ZL150 edition. I have actually quite a lot of the pieces for that car already. Yeah, it looks gorgeous to begin with. But yeah, anyone getting the pieces for that Camaro, which gets quite a lot of cosmetic pieces in this season pass. Yeah, that's a car that can look really, really beefy. Some of my mulched bits and pieces. Yeah, obviously those Camaro body parts are going to get it from me. because I have quite a lot of those already from just the multiplayer seasons. Ford GT Mark II, yeah, that's gorgeous looking car. Maybe not the best handling car in the world ever, but still really want to get my hands on that one. Hopefully my string of luck in Grand Prix continues. Yeah, I've got the Stingray up to what will be 16 blueprints out of the 35 to unlock it after I complete all the quests from the first episode. But yeah, quite a ways off yet, but still I'll have that a couple of weeks early as well. That decal for the Corvette Stingray, stars and stripes all over the place, and yeah, it's kind of strange that you get that first and not at a point where anyone could possibly unlock the car. Hopefully people don't forget they've got that decal by the time they actually get the car in this. But yeah, strange layouts and stuff. It's kind of the wheelhouse of Gameloft, isn't it? Now, so yeah, not really going to go through the very, very basic starter quests here, but I will just have a shot through the beat 105 seconds in Uptown, the jumps, and yeah, these two grindy ones. So that Uptown race in Career, it's the second portion of Career. You've got your stars and stripes right here, and Uptown is the very, very first race in it. So it has to be done in Career, so you're going to use the Camaro LT for it. And yeah, it's a 90-second race, so you're going to need to probably tune up the Camaro a small little bit for this, but it's basically like the very, very first course in the new section of the Career. So this is just one to encourage players to kind of go and take a look at the New York layout, and you can see it in the, yeah, like I said, it's on the second chapter of Career, and it's right at the top of it. Stars and stripes every single race, and this is all the different layouts of the new track, and some of them are pretty unusual. I'll be honest, I'm not feeling it just yet, but at the same time, I was the same with the Caribbean. That track felt very, very much like whoa, how are you supposed to know which way to go in this? But like, yeah, just have a couple of runs inside in this track and kind of find the layout of it a small bit. Like, yeah, these Career events are free to play, don't cost tickets, and the Camaro LT here is a 2-minute refuel time to yeah, get like a bunch of races in on this one. The problem I had is like a couple of the layouts of this have a jump type, or well, it's not even a jump type, it's just a case of like, I've noticed there's a part of the track where you just kind of clunk into, and I find it very, very difficult to make out the part of the track where you're actually impacting into. I get these corners are kind of a bit on the strange side, but yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not massive on this track just yet, but at the same time, I'm sure it'll just take a couple of runs and people will be completely used to running this one. Flag bonus, yay! It's been a while since I had one of those from Career, definitely. And yeah, that's 105. Like, that is a minute. Yeah, it's plenty of time even to do like a kind of tester run on the track, just as long as you don't wreck into any one of the pillars. Should be really okay with that. So then, perform 5 jumps in a single Stars and Stripes event race. Now, this will work obviously in Stars and Stripes part 1 and 2. So part 1 is in right now for the next 27 days. So the first half of the season pass will have this one. And yeah, this is just that event where basically any card that's involved with this event will be here to use, and you'll get some tokens back for giving it a run through. Now, say like a lot of these American cars are not exactly handling beasts, but say Dodge Viper ACR and the yeah, Grand Sport both are fantastic for the agility factor. Just using the Viper ACR here on this one. And yeah, Urban Exodus is one of the new New York layout tracks, and quite a long track, but not a whole lot of jumps. We just need 5 from this layout. Yeah, this, oh, those god ray lighting effects. Probably not doing the Tegra any favors inside in the Switch. But yeah, performance of this patch so far has been questionable, especially in multiplayer. Had some really bad races so far now. But let's see, we're gonna find our 5 jumps on this one. And like, yeah, while this is an incredibly long circuit of the New York track, it actually doesn't have a whole lot of jumping opportunities on the first route that I took on it. So there's jump number 3 coming up from the steps. Chew car. But yeah, that is kind of one of the things when you got a track like New York here, which is kind of known for, yeah, fairly sharp corners in most games. It's appeared, Forza in particular, but usually kind of a very flat kind of track. I know you got a 4th jump up here on the right hand side. Actually land onto the upper platform and then just hop back down from there. So that should count as a 4th and a 5th jump, I think. Because yeah, like the second half of this track, I think I encountered maybe one other jump after this point, the first way that I went. But yeah, if you have the jump to skip up, yeah, that should count as an extra one there, hopefully. That's all with coming down. But this track is definitely not exactly rife with too many jump opportunities. Getting some air turn off that as well. So there is definitely a few places where you can get like a few like fractions of a second off the ground. Should be enough to, like I said, get 5 jumps, 75 tokens, also not too bad. So a dodge ACR ran through with that already. And yeah, 5 jumps, single stars and stripe event, so not too bad. Again, it's just an excuse to send people in there to the stars and stripes and to check out the fact that, yeah, you can get quite a bunch of tokens from that. Now, so then the US Midwest and the San Francisco, the places where I've been grinding those out is, yeah, obviously inside in career, and it is just finish races in US Midwest and then in top 5 in the San Fran. For US Midwest, easiest places inside here, Ultimate Muscle, and just select, yeah, the second track of that one. And since it is just a case of finish race, it really doesn't make much difference here how you perform. So if you've got any of these cars, you can just throw them into it repeatedly. Like, even a win isn't going to make too much of a big difference. From racing though, I mentioned in the last track there, like, the multiplayer is yeah. So I was gonna say the fact that like the multiplayer has been pretty rough in terms of like getting software closed because an error occurred. Same thing inside in like these events. This is just a US Midwest. This is just a US Midwest 30-second race, and again you're seeing software closed because of an error occurred. Like, that's really bad, the fact that the game has gone so many steps back. And also, again, like, a lot of these things that are brought in, like the multiplayer rank not being visible at the end of a race, the shockwave changes, like, those have all been reverted on global. I really don't get bringing them to the Switch. Features that are proven failures. And yeah. Oh, that's not good. Not a good. Oh, that's just so not a good start to episode 1 of the season. It really doesn't instill confidence, especially going into Grand Prix and stuff. And Elite Grand Prix is for tokens, so yeah. Oh well. Gonna reload this though and throw the car into that race for touch drive, no input. I was gonna rant about the performance of this during that race, but I figured, yeah, no. And that's me being allowed to get into the game and get that last race done. And then the final grind here of, yeah, top 3 in San Francisco. And for that one, you'll be going for Gearhead's very first chapter career. and it's the 4th race in the tunnel. Really low requirement on this one. Yeah, 602 rating, so even a maxed out king should be able to touch drive this on with no input. And yeah, it's an incredibly short track, so just leave that one run 20 times. It'll take probably about 20 minutes to a half an hour to complete all the runs of that one. It's not too bad. Now, and that should be the last San Fran race required then. Hopefully, I think it is, if I counted correctly. Yeah, here we go. So, year 19 on from those quests incomplete. Yeah, that's 100% of the missions. Like I said, not too much challenging in episode 1 of these. It's just a case of taking a look at the start of the event. And obviously, yeah, kind of poking players to kind of go and check out New York. Check out New York. Have you checked out New York yet? And definitely, I would strongly advise checking out New York. Because, like I said, you don't want the first... Corvette Stingray. That's not right. But yeah, you don't want the first time you look at the New York track to be when it's like featured in a special event race or so. Now, you're just going to claim the prizes then as well from these next bunch of things. But it's mostly just a handful of cosmetic pieces, some more Stingray, and yeah, Corvette. Blueprints just around the corner, but I don't have any particular need of them right now, so I'm not going to spend some tokens to get access to those that bit sooner. Some extra Camaro bits and pieces, and yeah, quite a lot of trade coins really just being had from that. Just one extra set of tires. Now, I said I'd just take one look here at the actual bits and pieces that I got from those, which were almost entirely, yeah, 911 GTS. A couple of portions for that, so some main power extensions onto the front bumper. That looks really cool for one of the lowest end yeah, B-class cars, but still, I'm not gonna say that. No, that I think the main power stuff looks really cool, especially on a couple of the cars like the Chiron, and yeah, look really nice on that as well. It is just a case of like bulk out the front and back of the car a small bit more. Let's just check Stonehaven. Man, they're cool, but no, I prefer these guys. Cargo and Black Zero. It does actually suit the 911 GTS quite a bit, in my opinion. Tire wise, I'm not gonna change from what I'm using there, because yeah, I think that suits them the absolute most. But I unlocked the slim ones, which yeah, they're cool enough looking, but no, I think like kind of strong alloy metal wheels and that yeah, outer metal kind of look to the wheels as well as just a really cool combo. In my opinion, obviously, like everyone's choice in cars is completely down to their own sake. I just, yeah, I've got my style, I stick with it. I see some amazing looking cars in multiplayer that some people come up with. Yeah, the color designs and stuff. And yeah, then so like the other bits and pieces that have been unlocked for this are for the Camaro ZL1. And the thing is, my one of these cars already looks like this. So it's not exactly a car where I need a lot of custom pieces to make this thing look like an American, you know, super powered like car. Because yeah, these pieces have been in game for quite a while. It is just a case of like you'll be getting them from the multiplayer cosmetic packs and stuff. And yeah, obviously I played this game quite a bit, so I have this car already kind of really pimped out quite a lot. I love that intercooler on, yeah, just for the turbocharger just sticking straight out of the actual bonnet. Absolutely just over the top completely. Let's see what extra bits and pieces I actually get for that. Oh yeah, so Matt would have came from me just playing with that, I think, in multiplayer. Body parts then. What new bits did I actually get? So a main power front bumper for this. looks like a snow plow on the front of it by now. And like I know that this car, like say last season's one was the Asterion, and I like pooed all over that because of the fact that like I hate that car. The ZL1, I actually think it's really like fun to drive in the leagues where you can use it. Versus the new multiplayer season, that was for less than a race because yeah, I didn't need to dip into this class effectively at all. But yeah, that thing is just silly looking at this stage. But you know, I mean that's the idea when it comes to muscle cars, kind of thing. The idea is to kind of go a bit over the top and make them, yeah, ridiculous. I think that's well achieved with this one, where I don't think the driver can quite see the road anymore. There's definitely going to be blind spots in most of the field of vision, I think, in that. But you know, I mean, it when your car looks like that, I don't think it's down to the driver for people to not get hit by you. I think you see that coming, you jump out of the way. It's easy as that. Now, that's the end of episode 1 of this season pass. And yeah, I'm a bit torn on this one. Like, obviously, there's quite a few cool cars in this. There's a new track involved. There's a good few cars that I want to pick up from this, and I think I should be in a good position to be able to get them. The only thing is, like, this patch shouldn't really have appeared like this on the Switch, in my opinion. Like, this has got some things which are known to be rubbish, and like that 360ing and shockwave change that was made to this, like that went into the global version of this and was near immediately patched out of it because yeah, it just changes the physics of the cars in a really, really negative way, and it really impacts like the performance, or definitely doesn't help with the performance anyway. And yeah, the other thing that's gone from after this patch, they changed to the multiplayer rank where you can't see your rank gains and losses after a game has ended. That came in on this patch on global, and it was soon patched out again. Well, it was patched out on the next major patch. So that means that, like, you know, they introduced something that they knew was bad on global, and just for the sake of just copy paste those same patch files onto the Switch, yeah, the Switch gets a 2 game features, which yeah, like the fan community and stuff was just like, oh, those are rubbish. And rather than just skipping out those 2 features and just bringing in the good stuff, they've also brought in deliberately, like, yeah, stuff that's going to be patched out again in the future. So, like, that's always been the thing with the global version. It's kind of seen as like, oh, it's ahead by a year, but at least if there's problems, they could maybe be fixed by the time they come to Switch. But yeah, the known issues are, well, known disliked features from that patch were brought into the Switch anyway, regardless of just how like they would impact the game, which sucks because yeah, they shouldn't have made it into the patch in the slightest. But yeah, that the game performance as well has been like, whoa, like really bad since the patch. It's gone down by like a noticeable a couple of frames on a couple of the tracks. And you have New York added in, and there is just so many obstacles and stuff all over the course. It's got the same Osaka vibe to it, of a track which has come in a fairly rough state, and yeah, much like Osaka, is still effectively unplayable at some variants of that track. And yeah, in multiplayer it can drop down to like 2 and 3 FPS in certain times. So that's not really a great sign going forward. But yeah, I have this season pass. I'm gonna play through this one, and then maybe we might reassess what I'm doing with Asphalt 9 Legends, and by that I mean if I'm playing it. But I will see going forward. Like, there is a bunch of different events that obviously I'll be covering over the next couple of weeks and stuff. So I think if you've watched this much of my video, you've probably already clicked that button up there. But if you haven't already, guys, please do. If you have your legends, and yeah, indeed, click the like button down below, throw a comment and let us know how you're getting on with the performance of this, or if it's just a case of like, do I need to re-download my game files? I don't think so, but yeah, other videos for me here and here. And as always, guys, drive safe in this one.